Welcome, gentlemen, and any ladies that might be stepping in and see what we're doing in here. It is Friday. I hope you're having a fantastic day. It is our second live cast of the series, of the show, of the channel, of the concept, however you want to put it. So thanks for joining me today. It's a beautiful day here in San Diego. It's going to be nice and warm. Well, relatively speaking, considering it's still technically winter, although we don't actually get winter here. So we're going to go over a couple things today. We're going to go over some leadership stuff because that's part of the name of the program. We're going to go over some health stuff that I think is really important. And I'm going to give you some online dating tips and advice and information. If you are married, it still is relevant to a point because part of this channel, a big part of this channel, is to help you understand male nature and female nature, not so you can use it against one or the other, but so you understand the dynamic of why people do the things they do and make the choices they make. And although we like to ascribe a lot of these choices to some kind of agenda or insidiousness, it really, for the most part, boils down to human nature, evolutionary psychology. Let's get started. So I remember years ago, I was at a business function, and we had a bunch of guest speakers. Actually, it was a really cool function. I really enjoyed it. And one of the speakers was a guy named John Maxwell. Now, maybe you haven't heard of John Maxwell. John Maxwell is famous for his leadership books and talks and speeches, and he's a very well known, great spoken guy. I really enjoyed his presentation, and I've actually bought some of his books, and I've watched some of his other presentations on other venues. And I'm going to go over an element of what he talked about here. So, defining leadership is you can read this. I'll read it for you. John C. Maxwell, 2019 Horatio Alger Award winner and named the #1 leadership guru, as well as the author of over 75 best-selling books on leadership, sums up the definition of leadership like this: leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So, if leadership is influence, you might be asking yourself, how do I influence others? Think about someone who positively influenced your life. What behavior or words were so impactful to you that you were influenced to become a better person? What about someone who negatively influenced your life? What behavior or words did they model, and what effect did that have on you? The point is that influence works two ways, positively or negatively. I think I'll leave that there. You can read the rest of that if you're watching the video, if you're watching the, or if you're following a podcast, and obviously you can't see it, but I'm going to talk about it. Leadership is influence. That's a powerful statement. So when you are in a position of authority, whether assigned or default, your behavior, your actions, your words are going to have an influence on those that are behind you. And this is an important concept to keep in mind because a lot of people kind of get in their own head of it's my life and do what I want. I remember years ago, I don't remember, it's a long time ago, there was a big discussion in the media about how athletes are role models, and they're like, well, we're not role models, we're just paid athletes. And they fail to realize that by being in a high profile position, you are an influencer. In fact, influencer is one of the most common things people like to describe themselves as today. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. They influence people. Influence is leadership. Leadership is influence. So whether you're leading a company, leading a family, leading a group of guys hanging out, you are influencing them. And I would obviously I can't dictate how you do this. I want my leaders to have a positive influence, to influence me in such a way like I want to follow this course of action. I want to have the same beliefs they do. Maybe not every single thing. I don't think there's anybody in the world that has exactly the same belief system that you want to have in your own life. I think there's going to be overlap. I remember I've had several role models and leaders in my life, and I chose them because they had something about them that I wanted to emulate, something that they had to offer as a mentor or a leader that I found was very valuable. But every single one of them also had things that they did or said or pursued that I wasn't interested in. So that's okay. But the leadership skills was, what I was seeking. And the influence you have as a leader, sometimes you don't even know. And again, in my job, my main job is I'm a martial arts instructor, I'm a fitness trainer. Um, I'm literally a leader by definition. I'm leading a class, I'm leading a client through a process, I'm leading a team of other instructors as they learn their material. So leadership in my position has been something I've been dealing with for a very long time. Even before I got into martial arts instruction, every every job I've ever had, at some point I was in charge of training somebody, leading somebody through a task, whether it was how to cook a product or whether it was how to assemble something. For me, leadership has been something that's come somewhat naturally. I was the oldest. I was raised as the oldest child, so therefore, and I came from a generation where we spent a lot of time as children without parental supervision. So it kind of defaults to the oldest child to be the leader. Not that you can't be a leader for your younger child, because we all lead something, and we all follow something. Hardly anybody, even the most high-profile people on the planet, don't lead every element of their life. I mean, every prime minister, every president has advisors that are specialists in their area, finance, agriculture, transportation, whatever. So whatever your beliefs are and how good they are, bad they are, the reality is nobody is leading everything all the time. That being said, it behooves you to be a positive influence in those who are behind you. And some people don't like that because it puts pressure on them. They're like, oh, well, now I have to really watch out what I'm doing. Yes. Yes, the purpose of this channel is literally to build better men. That's what our tagline is, building better men. And it falls upon men most of the time to lead whatever capacity they're in. Doesn't mean women can't lead. I know some of the best leaders I've seen are women. But generally speaking, it falls on us. And if you are afraid of leadership, if you are adverse to influencing people in a positive way, that's not a path to being a better man, in my opinion, and the opinion of many others. So leadership is influence. Influence is leadership. They are one and the same and inseparable. So keep that in mind. Let's move on to topic number 2, which is a health topic. So last week we talked about some self-defense stuff, and I actually did a podcast a little bit ago talking about in my business coaching podcast about, because it's mind body business, so obviously body applies, and I use this graphic to illustrate the importance of the topic, and I actually found it kind of interesting because there are so many typos in this infographic. If I had proofread it more carefully, I would have used something else or made my own. Let's pull it up there. Maybe you have a laugh at this too. So this is the importance of sleep, and I think everybody inherently knows sleep is very important. You know, we talk about it a lot. But I want you to understand this. Again, I use the example of myself, as I'm someone who suffered from insomnia for years. There are times where I'll go days, weeks, sometimes months without getting any quality sleep. And I can tell you, since I often have times where I do sleep well, the impact of good quality sleep cannot be overstated. It's like a whole new person. So we have the why. Why is sleep important? Repairing your body, improve learning and memory, lower stress levels, improve creativity, support growth and development, maintain your immune system. Those are pretty important things, and I agree with all of them. How you can sleep better. Let's talk about that for a minute. So let me pull back this. So there are a couple of things I think are really important in how to sleep better, and this is something that where I go against the grain. A lot of people. Most people I know, I wouldn't say most. I mean, I don't know. I don't know most people's bedrooms. I don't spend a lot of time in people's bedrooms. A great many people that I know that I'm familiar with have a television in their bedroom, and they'll watch TV at night. And by TV, it could be YouTube, it could be Spotify, it could be Amazon, Netflix, whatever. That's not a good idea if you want quality sleep. Same as being on your phone right before you go to bed. Your bedroom should be relegated for bedroom activities. Having sex with a partner and sleeping. If you limit your bedroom to those things, your quality of sleep is going to go up dramatically. Your body will associate, oh, we're in this room for these two or couple of purposes, and that's it. You're not confusing your brain, and you're setting up habits that are going to keep you from sleeping well. Setting a routine bedtime, even on the weekends. And if you're a young person, you're into the party scene, and you have a weird shift at your job, that's going to be a challenge. But you'll find quickly out as you get a little older that if you start having late nights and you'll stay up all night. It's gonna mess up your rhythm. And this is why Mondays are hard, people, because like, oh, they'll have a regular routine Monday through Friday. You gotta be at work by 8, whatever the case is. You go to bed at the same time. The weekends they screw up the schedule by staying up late repeatedly. Monday rolls around and the body is disacclimated to the regular schedule, so they're literally dragging ass in the morning and they have a hard time getting going. So I strongly recommend you get in the habit of trying to get to bed about the same time every night. Obviously, you can, as this infographic says, you can exercise regularly. Keep your bedroom cool, quiet, and dark. And I'm a big fan of, the only time I like cool weather is when I'm trying to sleep. And obviously darkness helps, quiet helps. I also like to have a fan or some kind of a white noise in the background. That's my personal preference. Yours might be different. So those are some ways to get better quality sleep. I think it's really important. Actually, it's very important. And people just say, oh, yeah, sleep is important. Sleep is important. We all know that. It's like, oh, I'm supposed to eat right and exercise. Yeah, but people don't do it. Do it. It'll make your life better. If you're not getting good quality sleep, take some of these steps, get better quality sleep. It will dramatically improve your brain power. It will dramatically improve your ability to stay in shape and be on task and the energy levels, etc. Let's look at what if I don't get enough sleep? It can increase your anxiety, depression, mental health problems. Yep, for sure. Cause irritability, mood swings. Yep, been there, done that. Cause headaches, weight gain, and poor vision. Now, let me make a comment on this. I've never had headaches from poor sleep. I don't recall having poor vision from poor sleep. And this weight gain topic is a personal peeve of mine. Not getting enough sleep isn't going to cause you to gain weight. Not getting enough sleep will affect your energy levels. It will affect your hormone levels, which will make it harder to or easier to stay in shape. So the only thing that causes you to gain extra weight is eating too many calories. Period. Okay, whether it's muscle weight or whether it's fat weight or whether it's water weight, you can't put weight into your body that you did not consume. But poor quality sleep will jack up your ability to maintain your hormones for best use of the energy that you consume, and it will definitely affect your energy levels, making it harder to exercise and be focused. So, although it's cliche and kind of boring, get some sleep. Seriously, very important. All right, let's get into topic number 3. I'm going to give you a few online dating tips and some information that you might find useful if you are single. I'm assuming if you're in a committed monogamous relationship, you're not online dating. Nobody likes rejection. So obviously, if you don't have any idea of the singles availability of a female, there's a chance that you could be rejected simply because she might be with somebody. Maybe she likes you, just not enough to leave the guy she's with for you because she doesn't know you. And honestly, if someone's in a committed relationship and they're going to bounce on that dude to go out with you, that says a lot about their character. That's a topic for another day. But so for me, it was more about pre-screening. The reality is now is the last couple of years, people aren't traveling, they're not going to work in person. Online dating is more popular than ever, and online dating includes like Facebook, Instagram, all social media. Since social media became a thing, I would say probably 2015, 2016, that has been the primary way people meet other people, for the same reason I've already described, and we're on it all the time. And that's created some problems. We kind of talked about that a little in the last video about how it skewed women's perception of how much choice they actually have, because, any woman who's not hideous is going to get a ton of attention. So they often think, oh, I have thousands of men who want to spend time with me, so I can be as selective as I want to be. And yes, you can, but you can also pay the consequence of that by getting guys who aren't interested in, being serious with you if that's what you want. So let's talk about online dating from the man's perspective, since that's what I'm most familiar with. So, and I bring this up because in the decentralized information age of YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and where men can actually talk freely about these topics without being, labeled misogynist or, hateful to women or being shamed because you're not man enough, there are challenges that are real. And people often use these challenges as excuses to be slackers. And again, I talked about this in the last video too. And you're going to hear me talk about this a lot. Your choice to accept difficulty as a reason to not be the man you can be is pitiful and sad and disgusting. So if you're one of these guys like, well, it's online dating's hard and girls don't like me, and so I'm just not going to try because all women are bitches, and they all suck and they're all selfish and they're all gold diggers and blah blah blah. If that's your attitude, man, you're already losing. So I'm going to assume that's not you. Let's talk about this online dating thing. First of all, at its core, online dating especially, is a numbers game. You have to understand that women get a lot more attention than you, unless you are extremely good looking and have high status and make good money. If you have those three things going for you, you are swimming in nookie. Okay, you have no problems coming across females. They're like literally throwing themselves at you. Most of us don't have all that going for us. Maybe you have a good job, but you're not attractive and you are boring. Maybe you're in a local rock band and so everybody knows you, but you're broke and you don't shower for days, so you're kind of gross. Whatever. So the reality is most of us don't have this trifecta of looks and lots of money and a high status going for us. So you are not going to get anywhere near the attention that women do. Even an average, ordinary looking woman that's probably a little bit chubby and maybe has, not the greatest face, that woman's going to get a lot of attention. Understand this. It's not a problem. It's just the reality. So you have to do a lot of swiping or clicking or whatever. There's several different options for online dating. They'll have a little bit different way of interacting. But you have to understand that you are going to do a lot of research and a lot of looking relative to the amount of attention you receive back. Clear on this. So if you swipe all your free swipes for 5 days and get only 2 people to match you, that's okay. Plus, it doesn't cost anything, guys. Come on, seriously. Secondly, understand that online, a large number of the women that are really attractive. Okay, so let's back up. The really hot chicks online, a huge number of them are either completely fake profiles, so they're a bot or they're run by somebody else, or they're just there to move you to Instagram or Snapchat or try to scam you out of money somehow or just get you to like them, because attention is currency to females. Currency is currency to men. Attention is currency to females. They want to be validated. They want people to tell them they're pretty and they like them and their clothes are nice and their nails look great. That's important. It's not as important to men. That's nice, but not as important. So be aware that their girls are really, really, really good looking. They're probably fake. Or they probably have no real interest in meeting dudes on the site. And honestly, guys, if a woman's super hot, she's not going to have a problem meeting guys. That's silly. The other thing that they'll often do is, if they're attractive or reasonably attractive, I would say above average, is they are often going to try to funnel you over to a paid site, OnlyFans or their own site or whatever, so you can then pay them to give them attention. And I'm telling you, this is important. Do not do this. Few things are more repulsive to women and men than someone who's going to pay money or pay attention or do favors for a female that does not return the favor in kind. And I don't mean she gives you a kissy emoji. I mean, if you were giving a woman money and you're telling her how awesome she is, and you're telling her that she's like a glorious angel beamed down from heaven, women don't respect that, and guys think it's gross. Men do. I mean, and if you're doing that, stop doing it immediately. Save your money. Get a course on self-confidence or speaking another language or something like that. Don't give money to online chicks. It's ridiculous. Don't go into the strip clubs to give girls money either. They aren't into you, generally speaking. So item one, be aware it's a numbers game. You're going to do a whole lot of swiping or clicking or whatever it is you got to do to get any attention back. Item number two, be aware that a lot of the attention is fake, or it's designed to extract something from you, money, time, whatever. Okay, so that's important, and don't let that dissuade you. Just be aware of that. it's really, not that bit different than dating in real life. When you go up to women and they, oh, I have a boyfriend. Oh, no thanks. I appreciate, whatever. Deal with rejection, folks. Get a thick skin. Realize it's not a big deal. All right. So those are two things I want you to up front to understand. Now let's talk about when you do get a match or a connection or a click or a swipe. And this is so important. And again, everything I'm telling you guys, well, almost everything, except for I never paid for chicks. But everything I'm telling you about this stuff is stuff that I have done wrong, and I've paid the price with losing time, losing money, losing opportunities, and being frustrated and disappointed and angry and hurt and all this. So I've done all this stuff. So I'm way ahead of you guys on this. This is my goal of this channel, is to give you information that I didn't have back when I was in my 20s and early 30s and whatnot. So this is a very, 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 very important one. Do not get fixated on one female. I know that girl that swiped right on you. She's perfect in every way. She likes the same things you do. You guys like the same movies. She loves the way your hair is messy in the mornings. I know, I get it. And I'm not saying don't be fond of her, don't treat her right. I'm saying, guys, one of the worst things you can do in success is to get fixated on one female, especially if it's in the first year and a half. I'm telling you, I know your girl's different. I understand. Your girl's different. No, she's not. So, and I'm not saying you should date a bunch of people, but I'm saying keep it real, folks. Do not, we call this one-itis sometimes, where you're so fixated on one female that no one else will do. This one's perfect, and the problem is you start then overlooking any red flags. So there's all kinds of things that that's a problem, but you're like, what, but this girl's right. And again, I have done this more than once, unfortunately, because I went through it several years of being an idiot. So, date her, go out, talk reasonably. Don't talk all the time. Don't be that guy. That's simp behavior. If you're texting her, basically, if you're texting her and she's not texting you back as much, if not more, than you're a simp. And it comes across as being needy and desperate, and that's a huge turnoff to women. Because women look to guys for strength and security and protection. They don't want to be carrying you emotionally or physically. So stop doing that too. That's it. So items, let's go review. It's a numbers game. Large number of the chicks are fake. Do not give money to women online. Just don't. And do not get fixated on one woman in the first year and a half. And even after that, guys, we'll go into more detail later, but just be aware that there are other women that are just as good as the one you have. Yes, even yours, that are just as good and possibly even better. And odds are likely. Guys, there's billions of women on this planet. Okay? There's no such thing as a soulmate. So if you have that idea, just get that out of your head. There's just levels of compatibility. But you have to be objective and look for red flags. And if you get fixated and you develop one-itis and you were like, this girl's the one, I'm going to marry this girl, I'm so lucky to be with her, stop it. All right. So again, each one of these topics can be hours long by itself, but I'm going to keep it short because we have more to talk about. So I hope you guys find this useful. Basically, get enough sleep. Leadership is influence. And keep these dating tips in mind when you are online, because that's how most people are meeting. And if you haven't done online dating and you want to start, very important, because you get sucked down this rabbit hole. You're going to have some hot 23-year-old tell you she's crazy about you and wants to know all about you. Just go to her Snapchat and leave your text number, and don't do it. All right. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. It's been about half an hour, and I don't want to keep this too long. So I hope you guys find this lots of value in this. I know I enjoyed talking to you. I will catch you guys on the flip side. Be safe, and I'll talk soon.